para sa pagbabago. Sawa na ang bayan ko.
You may now be seated. To deliver the opening remarks, may we call on the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity, Secretary Carlito G. Galvez, Jr.
To the President, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte, sir, distinguished guest, peace partner, good afternoon, magandang hapon po, assalamualaikum, greeting of peace to all. February 22, 2019 is a historic date for the Bangsamoro. It is the day when the members of the Bangsamoro Transition Authority will be sworn in and formally assume office. This is the moment all of us have been waiting for. This day marks another major steps towards the long-held aspiration of our Moro brothers and sisters for genuine and meaningful autonomy. Through the Bangsamoro Transition Authority, the Bangsamoro people shall have a stronger voice and have the power to chart their own course of development. The passage and eventual ratification of the Bangsamoro Organic Law by a majority of residents in the region was a concrete manifestation of the people's overwhelming support for the future BARM government. In the days to come, the BTA will pass crucial legislations that will fully operationalize the BOL. Right at the heart of these responsibilities are the institutionalization of the practice of good governance to achieve a meaningful and genuine change for inclusive peace and development in the Bangsamoro region. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the members of the BTA. We stand behind you as we embark on your mission of bringing enduring peace and sustainable progress in the region. On the personal note, I would like to thank the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Philippine National Police, the COMELEC, and the teachers for the peaceful and honest elections that had been conducted during January 26 and February 6 plebiscite. I would like also to thank the SND, the members of the Security, Justice, and Peace Cluster and the Security Cluster for their support to the Office of the Peace Process during the information and education campaign during the plebiscite. I would like also to thank our Congress and Senate, especially Senator Mixwiri for the help, being the champion of the BOL. Also, Congressman Baisara, and also our Congressman from Tawi-Tawi, Congressman Sahali. Maraming salamat po. To the President, Rodrigo Duterte, thank you for your strong leadership and compassionate heart for the Bangsamoro people. Your perseverance and commitment bring us to where we are now in the Bangsamoro peace process. Finally, I want to thank God Almighty, Allah, for guiding our every step since the day both the government and the Moro fronts have agreed to settle and the Mindanao problem peacefully. Mr. President, I would present to you our base commanders, our front commanders who are here, particularly Commander Bravo, sir. Sukran, maraming salamat at mabuhay tayong lahat. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Secretary Galvez. To present to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte the resolution on the plebiscite canvassing results, may we now call on COMELEC Chair Sharif Abbas. Thank you, COMELEC Chair. Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, may we request President Rodrigo Roa Duterte to administer the oath. May we request the Bangsamoro Transition Authority members to rise.
Kindly raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your name. Having been appointed to the position of do hereby solemnly swear that I will well and faithfully discharge to the best of my ability the duties of my present position and of all others I may hereafter hold under the Republic of the Philippines. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines. That will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees promulgated by the duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines. That impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Allahu Akbar.
Thank you, President Duterte, and congratulations to the members of the BTA. And now, to introduce our guest of honor and speaker, may we call on Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdia.
Assalamualaikum. Mga kababayan ko, ang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Kindly sit now. Sukran. Former President and House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdia, Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity, Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., and the other members of the Cabinet, Senator Aquilino Pimentel III, Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri, the honorable members of the House of Representatives, the Commission on Election Chairman Sharif Abbas, officers and staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines led by Chief of Staff General Benjamin Madrigal Jr., PNP Chief Police Director General Oscar Albareldi, the members of the Bangsamoro Transition, fellow workers in government, other guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Before I forget and maybe rumble onto some other things which are not included in the program, let me acknowledge the presence of the former Secretary on Peace Process, Jesus Dorisa, who is here with us. May I call on you? It's one of the pioneering spirit behind all the peace processes in the Philippines today. Fortunately, he resigned for reasons I really do not know. Well, he never said it in his letter, so I could say nothing. On January 21 and February 6, an overwhelming majority of the registered voters of the proposed Bangsamoro territory went to the respective polling places not only to cast their ballots, but also to write a new chapter in the region's history. Today, I am elated to accept the certification from the COMELEC declaring the ratification of the Organic Act for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao and the expansion of its territory to include Cotabato City and 63 barangays from the province of North Cotabato. I am also pleased to announce the appointment of MILF Chairman Al-Haj Murad Ibrahim as Interim Chief Minister of the Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Sir, congratulations. The Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao is not just the fulfillment of a campaign promise. It will be the realization of our collective desire. It will be the realization of all our dreams and end long decades of armed struggle that hinder the growth of the region. And I also consider my home. Your courage and determination will never be put to waste. I guarantee that you and this administration will use all the resources within its disposal to ensure better governance and inclusive political empowerment in this new Bangsamoro region. Indeed, the successful ratification of this organic law will enable us to create an environment that will be conducive to peaceful coexistence between the Muslims, Christians, Lumans, and all tribes of this planet as indigenous peoples and settlers who will consider Mindanao as their home. As we welcome a new era of peace and development in the region, I pose this challenge to the members of the Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Always embody the dreams and aspirations of the great men and women who came before you and fought for the recognition of your right to determine your future. As you lead this new region towards a brighter tomorrow, I ask you never to waver in your commitment to build an institution that is founded on the rule of law, the promotion of good governance, and the defense of our most valued, cherished democratic values. Always work for the best interest and welfare. Well, I need not really remind you, you know better than me. But for posterity, and to put it on record that I was the one who said it at this time, always work for the best interest and welfare, not only of the Bangsamoro people, but every Filipino who live in that region. I trust that you will oversee the transition period to the best of your abilities, especially in the decommissioning of firearms and former combatants. The road to peace may be long and rough, but I am glad that we have finally reached its end point. My only hope is that we put to the rest the bitter memories of the past so that we can build a new region that is bound not by ethnic or religious affiliation, but by a common aspiration for peaceful coexistence among our fellow Filipinos. This is the penultimate parag which says salamat, but before that, may I be allowed to say a few words. I would like to congratulate all of you, past and present, now here in this planet or have gone to the rest. They were great men, fueled by great aspirations. And as a Mindanaoan, as your neighbor, I am really overwhelmingly proud that you took our word for it. In the so many late meetings that we had, in my place, in your place, just to talk about how to craft this new law. Now that we have realized our aspirations, believe me, we in Mindanao share your values. We share your dreams and aspirations. We share all, but most of all, we would like to see an end of the violence that has rocked Mindanao and have cost so many lives for nothing. For after all, we go to war and shoot each other, counting our victories, not by the progress or development of the place, but by the dead bodies that were thrown around during the violent years. If there is any problem at all or in the future, let me assure you that for the remaining years of my work as a government work here in this building, I assure you, inshallah, I will always do what the law says and what is yours and to what extent that we can give you not only comfort but happiness to the Muslims of Mindanao. I gave you my word of honor. And in the past, because of the delays, many of our brothers and sisters raised their doubts. But you were determined enough to face me. I said in the several meetings and the long nights that we talked and all sorts of the issues, I assured you that there will be there is a challenge that we will have to respond to, and we will be successful. Today, I thank Allah for His mercy and for His understanding of His people. And so, every time I pray for my place, Mindanao, because we have suffered so many bombings, so many lives lost, I said, for really nothing. In the end, all the great revolutions the world has ever seen, all the great wars that we have undergone, well, of course, I was not yet around, but violence visited us every now and then. I hope that we can end this, and I assure you, then there is one contentious issue about your resources. It's all yours. Ligwasan Mars, nobody. It belongs to the Mindanaoans. It belongs to all the people. Do not be afraid that you will be deprived of this rich ever. It will always benefit the Mindanaoan, and that is the purpose why we are here. We do away with greed, we do away with oppression, and especially we try. We can always try. Sometimes it can be done, sometimes it cannot be reached. But I pray that we will end the hate that pervaded our lives for so many years. Thank you, and may Allah bless us all.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. At this point, may we request our President to remain on stage for photo opportunity. For the first batch, we call on the first batch of BTA members. Batch 2, please prepare. Batch 2, please just prepare. Thank you, Batch 1. Please exit to the right. Thank you, Batch 1. Please exit to the right. Right. Batch 2. Batch 3, please prepare. Thank you. Batch 2, please exit to your right. Thank you. Batch 2, please exit to your right. Batch 3, you may enter. Batch 4, please prepare.
Sabihin mo naman kung sino sila.
Yung batch 5 kasama si Malaysian facilitator ha.
Thank you. Batch, please exit to your left. Batch 3, please exit to your left.
Batch 4 mo, tawagin mo yan.
Please prepare batch 4. Batch 4 is MILF and MNLF Central Committee members.
Tapos basta don't forget si Kamarudin.
Yes, yes. Ganun mo.
I-announce na lang tapos na ang una. May we request those who are not included in the photo op. May you please go to your seat.
May we request that those who are not included in this batch, please take your seats. So for batch 4, we have the MILF and MNLF Central Committee members who were at the rehearsal earlier. Thank you. Batch 4. Please exit to your left. Thank you. Batch 4, please exit to your left. Please prepare 5th batch, former and current presidential advisors on the peace process and former and current GPH and MILF implementing panel chairpersons together with our Malaysian facilitator. Please prepare batch 5, former and current presidential advisors on the peace process and GPH and MILF implementing panel chairpersons together with our Malaysian facilitator. Batch 4, please exit to the left.
Presidente, i-request natin yung BTA members to stay behind kasi kailangan nilang pirmahan yung oath of office.
Thank you, fifth batch. And now we will have the sixth batch. Please prepare members of the Congress and the Senate responsible for the passage of the Bangsamoro Organic Law. Okay. Batch 5, please exit to your left. Batch 5, please exit to your left. Okay. Sixth batch, members of the Congress and the Senate responsible for the passage of the Bangsamoro Organic Law.
Huwag mo na paalisin yung BTA members after exit ni Presidente kasi kailangan nilang pirmahan yung oath of office. Kahit yung BTA lang. Huwag mo na. Thank you.
Thank you, sixth batch. Please exit to your right.
May we request everyone to please remain seated?
May we request everyone to please remain seated.
Sige, ma'am. Sige, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, for having us. Thank you very much, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, for having us in this momentous event. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Philippines, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. May we request everyone to remain seated until after the President has left the hall.
Mainon, Bar, Karon. Mia, Bar. Karon. Ito po.
Pwede ba tayo kumuha? Hindi ba, sir? Baka may ambos interview eh.
Andi po si Junior po.
Puta, kinaya siya ito.
Walang alog ah.